Every school in Northern Ireland.
You're promoting sodomy.
Every school. No, we're not sitting. You're a disgrace.
You're a disgrace.
You are deceiving the people of Northern Ireland.
If you can record that for me.
You're deceiving people.
Don't let happen.
Sodomy in schools in Northern Ireland.
Tell you what we'll do.
Why are you promoting sodomy? Why are you promoting lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, consent,
So
pornography in schools?
I'm not doing that, but tell you what
Why
we'll
are
do. Come
you-
on in and we'll have a chat
Oh,
and
Why are
I'll
you
record
promoting
this.
those
Oh,
things?
this is your
Why are you
legacy, Paul.
promoting
So
This is
sodomy
your
in
legacy.
schools?
This is
You're
your
promoting
legacy,
sodomy
Paul.
in
Let's
schools.
go in here and we'll
you
sit
are-
down and have a chat.
You are
Sodomy.
deceiving
I would be
people.
quite
You-
happy to have a
Lesbian,
conversation
gay,
with you.
bisexual,
So
transsexual,
let's come in.
consent,
Yeah.
Paul.
Let's come inside and
Consent.
have a
Consent,
conversation.
That's what
Do
you're.
you want to come in and have
The
a chat?
Democratic
consent, Paul.
Unionist
I would be
Party,
quite
Paul.
happy to come and have
The
a conversation.
What about
Democratic
pornography?
Unionist
What
Party.
about pornography?
So here we
Once
have.
the party of
So-
faith, Paul
Yes.
Givan.
So here we are.
Paul Givan
And
promoting
transgender
You don't want
consent.
to come and have a conversation.
You
with me?
consent.
So let me just check.
Consent to sexual
So,
activity.
here we are.
Sodomy.
Every child
Sodomy in
consents
schools.
here I
and
am
it's
with
okay
Sodomy
with
in
Paul.
schools.
Here I am with
It's okay with
Transgenderism.
And what we're
Paul.
trying to do is have a
Promotion.
conversation.
Paul
Promoting-
Givan.
So here we are
Consent.
trying to have
Paul
a
Givan.
conversation, but he doesn't want to
Paul
come and
Givan.
talk to me.
Promoting
So
sodomy.
then
Paul
we will
Givan.
publish this video.
That's
This
what
is
you're
Paul
doing,
Givan,
Paul.
Minister
Your
for
department
Education.
is
Come on and we'll have a
promoting
chat.
Minister for
Come on in
Education.
and have a chat.
Minister
with me.
imposing
Your
transgender
department-
ideology.
So what we're going to
Paul
do,
Givan.
we're going to go and have a
you're
conversation,
deceiving.
and I will spend time with
And
you, and
you're
we'll have a
deceiving
conversation.
Okay, he wants us to
Paul.
win.
Let's come on inside.
He wants us to
Come on
win,
inside,
okay.
and I'd be quite happy to have a chat
You're
with you.
deceiving people, Paul. That's
So
what's happening.
what we'll
And
do
that's
is
the disgraceful situation
let's have a
in Northern Ireland.
conversation.
You
Let's
are
have
deceiving
let's have a
people.
proper conversation.
You are deceiving
Let's
people.
go have a proper
And
conversation.
This
I'm
is
telling
Paul
you-
Come and sit
Givan.
down.
This is
Come on.
Paul Givan.
So we'll come in and sit down,
is Paul
and we're going to
Givan.
have
Do
a
you want to answer
conversation.
some questions, Paul? You know,
Yes, we're
you're
gonna come
yeah,
in and
You're
we're gonna
promoting-
record.
you're the Minister for
So we're
Education,
going to come in and have a
and
conversation.
you're promoting sodomy to all the young people of
So-
Northern Ireland.
So we'll come in and here and have a conversation, and then I'll record it, and you can
Paul
record it,
Givan.
and we'll publish
Promoting
it.
sodomy in schools.
Promoter of sodomy.
So are you
Promoters
no statements with you?
deceiving the people of Northern Ireland.
Take a seat.
Paul Givan.
Here now. Do you have anything to say, Paul?
This is Paul
Do you have
Givan.
anything to say, Paul?
Come and take a
Promoter
seat.
of sodomy.
Do you have anything to
Every
say?
school in Northern Ireland.
You're promoting sodomy.
Every school. No, we're not sitting.
promoting-
You're a disgrace.
You're a disgrace.
You are deceiving the people of Northern Ireland.
If you can record that for me.
Promoter of transgender.
You're deceiving people.
Don't let happen.
And what you're doing is you're deceiving
Come and take a
people.
seat.
You're
Puberty
promoting
blockers.
sodomy. Every school in Northern Ireland.
Blockers.
Every school in Northern Ireland. You know the curriculum is going about transgenderism, sodomy in
Promoter of transgender. Lesbian, bisexual.
and you're smiling.
Private property. Private property.
Who are you?
I am in charge. It's private
Who
property.
are you?
I'm asking you to leave.
Are
You're not
you
at your...
working? Are
Yes,
you
yes.
What's your role?
Doesn't matter. Excuse me. Thank you.
You're
Please
late
leave the
handling.
premises. Please leave the premises. Please leave the premises.
The police are telling me to leave now.
Thank you very much.
The police. This is the police telling me to leave.
Yes, please. Thank you.
You're a police officer.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been asked to leave the premises. Okay?
We're being thrown out now. We're being thrown out. But Paul Givan asked us in. He had nothing to say.
Every school in
He
Northern
had
Ireland.
nothing to say. He's a promoter of consent
sodomy in
and
every school.
sodomy
You're a disgrace.
to Christian people of Northern Ireland.
disgrace here.
And he thinks he's going to get away with it.
Every
Paul
school,
Givan.
let me just
Paul
tell you
Givan.
tonight what Paul Givan is promoting across Northern Ireland. And we've come in here tonight and we met him here tonight. Let me just give you a few things. Schools must make sure they increase knowledge of LGBTQ plus matters. Support pupils who identify as LGBTQ plus. Use appropriate terminology. Establish links with Cara-Friend, a radical organisation that believes children could be transgender at the age of 2 and 3. That's what Paul Givan is promoting in
Yeah.
schools. And
It's very sad,
they're
when
trying
the-
to lock the doors here
when-
now
yes,
tonight. The
when
DUP, they don't like...
DUP locking the
They don't
doors.
like it when I told them they're a
Locking the
disgrace
doors.
and they're deceiving people.
Once the
People-
party of faith, once the party of faith,
Yes.
now deniers of
Absolutely.
Christian belief.
Absolutely.
The Democratic Unionist Party, deniers of Christian
Deniers.
belief. Locking the door. When
Deceiving
you ask
people.
Paul, how can he promote consent to young children? Just consent to any type of sexual
Absolutely.
behaviour.
It's a
That
scandal
makes
tonight.
it
It's a
okay.
scandal.
Defiance of
How
God.
dare they
And
call
how
themselves
dare
Christians?
they?
How dare Paul Givan call himself a
Hypocrites.
Christian?
Edwin
How
Poots.
dare he smirk in there
Yes.
tonight when he knows full well across this country in every school, consent, pornography,
Yes.
pornography,
Yes.
classes on pornography,
Yes.
classes on consent, classes on lesbian, gay, sodomy, bisexual, everything, every depravity.
Yes.
That's an abomination to God and to every decent person. It's a disgrace tonight
And
that
they're
we're here
sitting
outside
yes,
this
yeah.
place.
And
tonight.
they're sitting in here tonight,
an
and
absolute disgrace.
what they're saying is there's going to be entertainment. Entertainment for Edwin Poots, Diane Dodds, Nigel Dodds, whoever else
Absolutely,
is
all
here.
of them together.
Paul
Porter
Paul-
from Jonathan Craig.
Jonathan Buckley, Craig, Carla Lock, all these people.
Yeah.
Emma Pengelly, Richard Pengelly, the Chief Executive Officer of the Education Authority.
Mervyn
Story, the chair,
Chair of the
as they
Education Authority.
pushed a radical agenda on every school in Northern
Mm-hmm.
Ireland. And then he's on the pulpit in David Park's Free Presbyterian Church. But now they denounce the faith. They give the two
Absolutely.
fingers to God.
Absolutely.
And he thinks he's going to get away with it. Well, the curse of God is upon this
Absolutely.
place tonight. The curse of God. And every free pea that's inside here. Friends with Paul Givan. Friends with the Minister for Education. Presiding over, promoting sodomy in every school in Ireland. The new
Absolutely.
religion.
Absolutely.
LGBT,
Left,
the
right,
new
and centre.
religion.
Left, right, and centre.
A curse upon
and the
them
Free
tonight.
Presbyterians
Every single one of
supporting
them.
it. David Park, Ballymoney Free Presbyterian Church, calling himself a Christian, supporting Mervyn's story, backing him to the hilt as he promotes transgenderism in every school across this country. Many other Free Presbyterian ministers. Tonight, I call them hypocrites. They're absolute hypocrites, down to the core of their being. Liking posts, calling us out for pointing out this filth in schools. And yes, the guidance we hear from Paul is taken away. Let me tell you tonight, it's a gross deception. Across every school in Northern Ireland, this stuff has been, it's seeping in left, right and centre every single day.
He took it away because he had to.
He took it away.
had
He
to.
sat for 6 years. The DUP stood by it. Yes, this is good. Yes, this is the way it should be. And we confronted Mervyn's story. And we went to him and we confronted him about this depravity. And what happens a few weeks later? It's taken away. Let me tell you, it's a disgrace.
Yes, it's
It's a
taken away
disgrace.
because he had
These
to.
are not men who
He
are...
had to. And then he's saying that it's because of a judge in England
Exactly.
who told him what a man was and what a woman was. What a joke.
What a disgrace.
Only for it's so serious it would be a joke. That he had to wait for a man in England, a judge, to tell him what's a man, what's a woman. And now
Absolutely.
he's going to use it. No, that's not the reason. He thought he was going to get away with it. But you know, we exposed Mervyn's story. We exposed David Park, who had Mervyn on the pulpit telling everybody to stand for God. And then he sat on a chair which imposed a radical agenda
Shame
on
on
every
him. Shame on
teacher,
him.
student, family in Northern Ireland.
Shame on him.
Use the they pronoun. Support young children who want to transition. Encourage them. You must do it. And
Absolutely.
Paul Givan is still saying that.
Yes.
Anybody who has any sense will use the
Right
they
now,
pronoun.
tonight,
That's what he's saying.
I listened carefully to Paul Givan's interview on BBC Nolan, and he said that any decent person, he said, he was quizzed, he was pinpointed. Do you use the they pronoun? Should you use it? Should teachers use the they pronoun? Did he come out and say, no, it's an abomination, it's a disgrace, God says male and female? Absolutely no question, no debate. Paul said, I would expect in all decency that people would navigate that situation. In other words, yes, we'll use the they pronoun. Decent people will use the they pronoun. Can I just tell you tonight, don't be one bit deceived by this this
He's a
coming from.
deceiver.
He is a
He's
deceiver.
a deceiver.
And right now across Northern Ireland, in schools left, right and centre, this filth is being promoted through the curriculum, through the recommended RSC curriculum from Paul Givan. He comes out saying, oh, we're removing the guidance. What you don't know is that it's in every school and it's been recommended by Paul himself. And of course it's been used, and of course
And
it's
he's
been
a little
enforced.
minister for education that's doing what he's told.
Exactly.
A radical left agenda, pushed forward by the Christian Paul Givan, doing what he's told, minus a backbone, no interest in Christian belief.
Absolutely.
He's got the money in the pocket. And this place in here tonight is full of churchgoers and free Presbyterians. And last week, they were eulogizing, every single one of them, coming out, beating their breasts about Charlie Kirk, a man over in America who was assassinated. I knew very little about him till last week. I never heard him speak. But now I understand he went around universities in America speaking out against transgender ideology and the left and immigration and lots of different things. He talked to young people. And Paul was one of the first out because the world went after Charlie and his wife. She was a celebrity. And Paul was out there beating his breast. Stand up for what's right, everybody. This is the way to go. It's the best for society. An absolute hypocrite. And yet he's pushing this on every single student, family across Northern Ireland. Every single minister, I would say, of the Free Presbyterian Church, come out and speak if you didn't. David Park beating his breast, praising Charlie Kirk. Wasn't he wonderful? And his own elder on the pulpit, sitting on the chair of the Education Authority, making every teacher do what they're told and use the they pronoun. John Greer's minister, eulogizing Charlie Kirk. Ballymena, Ian Brown, he must be sitting at the internet he mustn't have gone to bed. He knew every single thing. He knew every post. He knew everyone who spoke. Eulogizing, lifting up Charlie Kirk, asking us to pray for her dear wife. Turning point. And that,
No
of
man
course,
like him. That's his message.
Erika Kirk, yes, he is fine. She's going to be fine. She's surrounded by, she's a strong Catholic. She's going to be surrounded by plenty bishops and deacons and cardinals. And Ian Brown, moderator of the Free Presbyterian Church, asking us all to pray for poor Erika. I wonder, is there many young women in Belfast without a husband, without a penny to put in their pockets? Ian would be asking us to pray for. I haven't heard it. And
Roger Higginson.
Roger Hill, Lisburn Free Presbyterian. And Roger comes along, this voice is so soft and so charming, a wolf. He wears the sheep's clothing. He's so charming. And he's crying out for Charlie. He was such a good man. He spoke out against transgender ideology. And when we spoke to Roger Higginson, he mocked us. He mocked us and spoke about Enoch Burke, who spent 500 days in Mountjoy prison. 500 days and was taken every penny, 70,000 out of his bank account.
Can I get a wee chat with one
Absolute
of you guys,
hypocrites.
please? Hello, can I get a wee chat with one of you?
Yes,
Yes,
we were
of
asked
course.
in here by Paul Givan tonight. Now, if the police have to be called, because we came in here, we said, Paul, can we speak to you for a moment? So it's a very sad day we're leaving, and the police he asked us to come in, we did.
Look, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm not saying you should do anything
At the
wrong.
same
or
time,
anything.
still
at the
are
same
here.
time,
You still are
the
here.
officers of the law have arrived.
Exactly,
It's a very
yes, so-
intimidating thing. It's a very
We're not here-
serious thing.
We're not here to
You'll
intimidate
understand
anybody.
when a man in uniform.
I'm
of
just
course
having a
it's
chat
It
with
is
you.
Of course it's
disgraceful
intimidating.
that
So
when
that's just
when
the
we
job.
ask a man that's on a huge salary, we ask him a few questions that really the people of North are very concerned about. You arrive on the scene.
Yeah, we were actually in the area. We've just been advised of the potentially a protest, and I just come up to make sure everybody knows expectations and where we stand
Well,
legally.
didn't these people call you?
They didn't call me. They didn't have evidence.
So
You seem to be hearing
sorry,
this
can I just ask a question? Who called you?
Yeah,
Who called you?
we received a report from somebody that's not inside. I can't go into details about who we heard it from, but we heard there was potentially a protest happening.
Somebody that wasn't inside the building.
And
When
I
did
just
you
called
hear
up to
that?
ascertain what's going on
When did you get that report?
about 10 minutes ago. And I've just ascertained that
Okay.
there's no issues. I'm telling you what the crack is and what we can do legally. Is all right?
That's okay, we've heard that now, thank you.
Right, spot on, folks. Thank you.
Yes, so the police have obviously been called here now tonight. That's the situation. There's a lot of panic here. Lots of people outside the door of this building. They're inside having a dinner tonight. We're told they're being entertained. So if you're concerned tonight about the filth that your children are being taught in schools, I'd like to tell you now that the DUP are not concerned. They're inside having a dinner. They're being entertained, and they're calling the police when somebody comes to ask them questions to hold them to account for lesbian, gay, bisexual, pornography, consent, every form of filth in schools.
And Johnny
that's the
Buckley
reality.
is in here tonight.
Yes,
and
Johnny
he was
Buckley
one
is
of
in
the
here
first
tonight.
out, eulogizing and crying out. His heart was broken, he said, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. A man who spoke against transgender ideology. And Jonathan Buckley is in here tonight, being entertained, having the crack with Paul Givan, who is promoting this in every school across Northern Ireland. Hypocrite, Johnny Buckley. And everybody else that's in here and pretending that you're so upset and praying for Erica Kirk and Turning Point, a Catholic organisation in Arizona.
Folks, can I speak with you a moment?
Heart is broken, and yet it's hypocritical. He's in here tonight with Paul Givan, who's presiding over this and promoting it, and was pushing it and imposing it on every school in Northern Ireland through this 60-page document until he was found out. Hypocritical to the core.